Good morning, everyone. Today, I'm at the Chattanooga National Cemetery in Chattanooga, Tennessee. It's a large 121-acre cemetery. It was established on Christmas Day, 1863, when General George H. Thomas issued General Order Number 296, creating a national cemetery to serve as the final resting place for those who died in the Battle of Chattanooga a month earlier. General Grant used this site during the Battle of Lookout Mountain, establishing his headquarters on top of the hill at the center of what would become the original 75-acre cemetery. In the years following the war, soldiers who had died on the battlefield were reinterred here. By 1870, more than 12,000 veterans were resting here, including more than 4,000 who are unknown. Today, the cemetery has been expanded to 121 acres. Is the final resting place for more than 50,000 veterans. The cemetery is also home to one of only 5 masonry arches that originally served as the formal entrance to national cemeteries. The other arches are located in national cemeteries in Marietta, Georgia, Nashville, Tennessee, Vicksburg, Mississippi, and at Arlington National Cemetery in Arlington, Virginia. The Chattanooga Arch was built in 1880 and stands over 35 feet tall. The Chattanooga National Cemetery was listed on the National Register of Historic Places in 1996. As I said earlier, General Grant made his headquarters here at the top of the hill, where we see the flagpole. And if we spin around and look at the bottom of the hill, we see the Ohio Memorial. It marks the grave of James Andrews, the 7 raiders who were executed following the Great Locomotive Chase. On April 12, 1862, James Andrews, who was a civilian, led a group of Union volunteers on a mission where they commandeered a Confederate train named the General while it was stopped at Big Shanty, Georgia. Big Shanty is today known as Kennesaw, Georgia. As the train's crew had a meal in the Lacey Hotel, Andrews and his raiders stole the General and sped north toward Chattanooga. Their intent was to do as much damage as possible to the Confederate Railroad, disrupting a major supply line. But the theft was quickly discovered. They were pursued by some Confederates led by the General's conductor, a man named William Fuller. Along the way, Fuller managed to gain possession of another locomotive, named the Texas, and the chase was on. For almost 90 miles, Andrews and the General sped north, with Fuller and the Texas in hot pursuit. Then just north of Ringgold, Georgia, the General ran out of wood and water, forcing Andrews and his raiders to abandon the General and flee into the woods. Some of the raiders managed to escape, while others were captured and sent to a prison camp and later exchanged. But James Andrews and 7 others were captured, tried, and quickly hanged. James Andrews was hanged on June 7, 1862 in Atlanta. A few days later, June 18th, 7 other raiders were also hanged. All were buried at the site of their execution and remained there until October 16, 1887, where they were reinterred here at the Chattanooga National Cemetery. In 1890, the state of Ohio erected this monument at their gravesite, and the General sits atop of the monument. The inscription reads, Ohio's Tributes to Andrews Raiders, 1862, erected 1890. the other side of the monument are the names of James Andrews and the 7 raiders who were executed and are buried here. As a result of their actions, many of the men who participated in the raid were awarded the Medal of Honor. That's why we see the Medal of Honor flag posted at some of their graves. James Andrews, who was a civilian, is not eligible to receive the Medal of Honor. Well, this wraps up my visit to the Chattanooga National Cemetery, the final resting place of James Andrews, the raiders who participated in the Great Locomotive Chase. I hope you found something interesting in this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up below. If you want to keep up with all of my adventures, be sure to ring that bell and subscribe. Until next time, remember, life's a journey. Take time and enjoy it. Now, it's time for me to head on down the road and see what's around the bend. So long, everyone.